Bob the preacher, can he teach you? Bob the preacher, yes he can! I'm back. Yes, I'm back with a big moral issue for you guys. Sex before marriage. It's a bit of an issue for some of you. It never really was an issue for me. Well, because I was an atheist before I became a Christian. Yep, fully fledged, club-wielding atheist. And I used to beat Christians to a pulp. Now I'm a Christian, which is a really odd thing to be. I realised, no, I didn't have to check my brain at the door. I can still think. I can still have ideas. And I can still understand the world. Did you know why the sex before marriage law ever came into being in Christianity? Because of kings and bishops. Yeah, really weird that. You see, when young women and men got married, way back in the Dark Ages, kings and bishops were permitted to have the first intercourse with the bride. So they had the law came in so that they were the ones who had the virgins. Had nothing to do with God, and it had nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus. But it had everything to do with power. The power of the church, the power of kings. Different perspective now, isn't it? And also, did you know that when someone got married, they were usually around 14? And usually the girl was about 14, because around the time of their first bleeding. They were considered a woman when that began. Such was the society of the time. And men, well, you were considered a boy when you could considered a man when you could swing a sword and not cut your own head off. And then by the time they were 20, they would have been a seasoned soldier or a well-trained farmer. Yes, we look at the world differently today. Yes. Ooh, children having sex. Let's all change the law. Make the law so that you can't have sex until you're married. Okay. Let's look at some logic here. Now, in the 10, 11, 12th century, the age was 14 for women. Probably about 16 for men, because men are a bit slower. Don't you agree, girls? We just don't get up to speed as quickly as women. So we have them married younger, because, well, let's see, by the time they were 35 to 40, most of them would have died, because life expectancy was not that good. So what do we do today? We change everything, don't we? No sex before marriage, and when most marriages don't start until mid-20s, there's a hormonal problem. We can change the words, but the body, we can't change it. Just because we say the words doesn't mean the body obeys. It's a bit of foolishness. It's a bit of silliness created by people to lord it over others. What are the laws today? The laws. Not the silly social moral that we've dug up somewhere based on king's desires. No, the law, well, in Australia is 16 for consensual sex, and I'm thinking in the US it's 18, and other parts of the world it's around those ages. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, we're living in a modern society and we need social and responsible laws. I can agree with that, and I suppose you can too. But the issue of marriage, look, come on, get real. The idea of marriage was way, way younger than what we expect today. It was also to combine people, to build societies, to build communities very early. And we want to change it. Well, we have changed it. We've made it ridiculously hard. We even get 18-year-old boys and 18-year-old women making commitments not to have sex before marriage. Well, that's a bit like saying, oh, for the next 5, 6, 7 years, I'm going to ignore what my body does because I'm going to have an out-of-body experience and I'm going to become pure and white, like snow. I'm a lovely person, really. Doesn't work. Biology doesn't work by words on a piece of paper. Biology doesn't follow the laws of kings and bishops and churches and religious rule. The body doesn't work like that. You must see that some of this is a bit silly. But I didn't have an issue when I was 16, 18, because I was an atheist. And I was a pretty good atheist too, I got to admit. But when I became a Christian, I had a look back on that and I saw nothing wrong with what I did. Experimentation with emotions, feelings, the feeling of touch and love and connectedness. That was what was important. That was the driving factor in my life. I wasn't listening to some religious, narrow-minded, self-indulgent, self-governing rule designed to oppress. The main function of a Bible, incorrectly used, mind you, used by those who want to tell you what to do. Most of the guys don't do it themselves, but follow this rule, was put together for the oppression, the oppression of people. I'll explain that a bit later as well. But sex before marriage. Get real. Understand the human body. Understand sociology and how we work together as a community. Are you some perfect human that can deny how my body works? Now, if you can do that, if you know how, not using chemicals, how to stop your body being human, then tell us about it. I think a lot of us would like to know. And the concept of marriage? Yeah, it's good. No, two people wanting to live their lives together. Whether that's a formalised agreement with a contract, you don't need a church. Actually, the church really doesn't come into it. It's actually a legally binding contract put out by the government. If you want to be in a legally binding contract, good on you. Way to go. I am. And it hasn't hurt me. But if you don't want to and you want it informal, there's nothing wrong with that either. Whether you're an agnostic, an atheist, a Christian, a Hindu, a Buddhist, it doesn't matter. It's not the most important thing in the world. What's important? Food, water, a dying economy, a dying environment, the future for children. Yeah. When you look at it that way, sex before marriage is sort of low on the priority list, don't you think? There's a bit of realism comes into life when you realise, I don't have any food to eat. I don't have any money to pay for the roof over my head. I don't have any money to buy shoes for my children. Where does sex before marriage come in on that? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So get real, people. Look at the world as I see it, as you see it on TV. Forget the moralising claptrap developed by people to lord it over others. Look at what works for you. Look at what makes you happier in the society we've created. Doesn't mean doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean breaking any laws. Don't do that, because that's just plain stupid. But even as a Christian, I still have a brain. I didn't check it at the door and accept some numbered philosophy from a book put together as a rule of oppression. No, I think about what I believe. I think about what Jesus actually taught me through his words in the Bible, and that is respect. Respect for each other and respect for how we view the world. Quite simple, really. Look, that's it from me.